Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So I recently went to Vintique in Weedon Bec. It's in Northamptonshire. It's an antique centre, a vintage centre because it's called Vintique. And I did actually spend some money and I bought this decanter. And I saw it immediately. I thought it looked like an orifice one. Yeah, it was not labelled as orifice. There are other similar ones to this which are not orifice. So I had a look underneath, and it has, if I can get it close enough and get it to focus. Focus there, you monkey. In fact, it helps if I hold it the right way up. There you go. Is it going to focus? Are you going to get to see that mark? Just written faintly just along the edge there, it says orifice 32753. Yeah, and in this film you'll see me fail to get you a date and the designer for that. But I think it's quite new, but it wasn't labelled as an orifice and it was quite cheap, as you'll see. So I did spend some money, but apart from that, it was very good. So with that said, let's get on with the video. So I'm here at Weedon Bec. I'm going to visit Vintique. Yeah, it's very cold. If I show you, look at all the snow. There's only a little spray, but it's stuck here for a few days now. So yeah, I think it's -3 at the moment. But yeah, look at this. This is still a nice place. Lots of things to see and places to go. So and also there's Antiquarium as well as Vintique here, so it makes it doubly worth the visit. So anyway, I'm going to go in now and get filming. So I've just come in the entrance, and yeah, I'm going to look at some things that are up here first. This looks a bit like rihimaki, and I had a quick look and it's got £12 on it. It's difficult to tell if you can see it with the sunlight on it. It might not be on. Let's see if I can figure that one out. So the book I'm looking at here is Miller's 20th Century Glass by Andy McConnell. And the answer to that question is that vase by Rihimaki. And the answer is, there's a good chance. So I haven't been able to find an exact shape match for it, either in this book or I've Googled images for it as well. But let me show you. We've got the use of that colour and in Google Images as well. And the other thing about it is that it has this thick, it's cased glass with a thick, clear base. And you can see that. Look, here it is very clearly. It looks like this. Okay. So if it was a recent Chinese copy, it probably wouldn't look like that. But I can't find an exact match. So yeah, it is what it is. I just can't find that shape at all, in fact. But I'm going to try and get better references than this, see if I can get catalogues and things. I'm still out there looking. I have one catalogue for Rihimaki, but it's a bit later than this. That looks interesting. I think I've seen that before. I think it might be someone like Stozzle or Walther and Zahn, but I'll see if I can find that. So I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and I found that bowl. It's a Sowerby, pattern number 2614, and it's a elephant glass bowl. And yeah, this one's green. There you go. What's cool about this is, let me click. Yeah, this one's still got the label on. Yeah, that always wins, doesn't it? There's also a couple of bits of white fries. I think there's a white fries ashtray. There's another one. Oh yeah, the little beak jug there. That's white fries as well. Just come down the bottom here. That looks like a Davidson Jacobean jug. This is interesting though. I don't know it. I'm going to try and find it because it's very interesting. It's nicely done. I don't know if it should have a top or not. But it's small but heavy. So yeah, I can't see anything else. Remember, you always have to look down the bottom and everywhere. You never know what you might see. So after Googling like crazy, I found under Murano Summerso perfume bottles, I found several like this, and this one gives me hope because it says Murano signed. That word there, that's the important word. I made a fatal error there. I didn't turn it over and have a look, but I think this is what it is, and if it is signed, then that is what it is. So yeah, pity there's no stopper, because looking through the prices are really kind of like, you know, the £50 to £100 plus kind of prices. So yeah, it's a good one, but there's no stopper. This Davidson Cloud Vase, I think it's Davidson Cloud Vase. I think that's a pre-war, and it's got to be, yeah, good 9-10 inches tall. I've not seen one that tall before. I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and here is the vase we were looking at, and it's a Davidson amber cloud vase. It's from the 1930s. He's got a patent number here, 279. And yeah, if I scroll down, you can get a better look at it. So yeah, it's quite a dark thing. Don't know if I can go over the next one. Will it go? No, you have to click off and come back. This one, but you can see it with the light shining through it. But yeah, it is quite dark in real life, and it's of its period. Yeah, there's a lot of brown and dark green and stuff like that in the 20s and 30s. I quite like it. A lot of people don't. Has he got any more bits of glass in here? I think that's... Yeah, I don't recognise any of these things. About down here. Oh, we've got some bits down here. But that's nice, but I don't recognise it. I might try and find that. Yeah, nothing else. Remember to look down the bottom, as I said earlier. You never know. Look at these little German beer glasses then. I don't know if they're supposed to be beer glasses, but they look like souvenir ones. I think that's a bit Sauby, I'm not certain though. I think this is as well. Let's see, got 1930s uranium bowl. Look around, anything else? Oh, there's another one up here. £10, so they're probably £10 each. Which seems like a decent price, but I can't see anything else here. So back with 20th century glass. Here is the bowl that we're looking at. It's made by Stossel. I never know how to pronounce that. Anyway, it's an Austrian company that made this in the Czech Republic. So, and yeah, it's the 1930s, and he's even got the patent number, so you know he's all good for this. I was going to walk past this as something I didn't recognise, but look, as you know, I like a label. That looks like it's quite a late label for this decanter. I'm going to see if I can find the name for that in the replacement services. It's a really unusual shape. I don't think, because it's so thin, it's really tall but so thin, I don't think you get a bottle in it, but yeah, I will try and look that up. So I'm looking here at the replacements.com website, and this is the closest I can see to it. And let me try and show you why I'm not keen on all this cut glass because it's like someone trying to create a new pattern by numbers. So if you look at that one, then you look at the one next to it, and then keep going, let's see. There's another one that's a bit similar. I'll go to the top actually. I think there's loads in the top that, you know, that one's got a fan shape in the top. That one's got little uprights. That one's similar. You can see that they're all kind of. There's another one with little fan shapes on it. There's another one with fan shapes. These ones have got other bits on them. Another one with fan shape, but still not that one. I've looked at all of these closely, and yeah, there's another one with fan shapes on it. And there are actually some other sites, and they've got a few other different ones, and yeah, there's just, you know, none of them are exactly the same, but they're all kind of very similar. And then you think, all the UK manufacturers were doing this kind of stuff, you just stand no chance. There's just not enough differentiation in all this cut glass. There's a few patterns that I know, but yeah, it's just too much. So through the magic of Google, I found it. It's called Renaissance Othello. And yeah, and I figured out I'm not such an idiot, because none of the catalogue sites that I was looking at, or glass replacement sites that I had to look at, had this pattern. So yeah, after going cross-eyed trying to figure out different crisscrosses, yeah, none of them even had it. So yeah, give up. Not strictly glass, but drinking ephemera. Silver plated. This looks, it's cocktail shaker. Is there a mark? Can I make that out? No. But yeah, that looks very 1930s. That's, and £16. Yeah, that's a very good price. I don't know how many of these Vincenza glass handbags this person has, but these don't look to be the same ones as I saw before. Yeah, these are Chinese. I think they're probably made in the last 10 years or so. Oh, look, there's one with the label still on it. Vincenza handmade. And he's got a couple of other nice things in here. So this is Chinese. This is made by the China National Light Industrial Products Import-Export Company in the 60s and 70s. It's from the Plum Blossom range. And you've got £12 on it, so yeah, that's quite nice. And it's all. I'm looking at the glassmuseum.com website, and here we are with the China National Light Industrial Products Import-Export Corporation. And yeah, and this range, if I can scroll up, is called Plum Blossom. And in actual fact, I think, no, it's not that one. It's this one here, which is a FV190. There we go. Yeah, and these are supposed to be from the 60s and 70s. Also got another Chinese vintage piece. This is made by Dalian Glassclo from the Snowflake range. How much has he got on that? 25. Yeah, that's kind of okay, but it's a nice. That's quite a nice one, quite a flashy one. So I'm looking at a blog page from the wonderful Mark Hill, and yeah, he's written an article about these vases are not from Murano. Yeah, so he's found one with a label, and here it is. So it's snowflakes, and he's worked out it's from the Dalian Glass Co. And yeah, and down here, this one here, look at this. Look at this, hang on. There you go, that's pretty much like the one that we were looking at just now. So there you go. And yeah, these are also sort of like, I think he's saying 50s to 80s for these ones. So yeah, another Chinese import. Got a ship's decanter, I don't recognise it though. What else has he got? Oh, there's something with a label on it. Bohemian little, it's like a giant posy vase. Yeah, I don't recognise this. Jack in pulp at £20, but it's, as you can see, it stretches from one shelf to the other. He's got some glasses down here. He's got a few pieces of this fused slumpware. So that's the opposite of, I don't think that's centrifuge, they just pour molten glass into a shape. And he's got a few more bits back here. Lattice work kind of thing. So that's made like that when it's hot. There's more bits over this side. Looks like a case nest bowl there. Yep, nothing else. This is quite interesting. I don't recognise it, but does he have a name on it? No. But yeah, that's quite nice. Bit of work to pull that into shape. He's got another one, similar finger vase there. Nothing else that I might try and find those. I don't know if I'll be successful or not. So I'm just Google imaging here, and yeah, no, I can't find a match. So the two searches I'm doing, one is called pulled finger vase, because that's one name for them, and the other one, so this is the pulled finger vase image search that you get, and I can scroll down and there'll be more. You get the idea. And then if I look at swung vase is the other name for them, and you can see they have a very similar look. I think it's probably going to be very hard to find something that those ones didn't have any kind of really, apart from the fact that one was red and white, and actually, yeah, there are. I've not found anything that looks like it. There's red and white, so that's. I was hoping that one at least would pop out to me. Yeah, you can see that you can search in these things, but there's a slightly random nature to them, I think, in that they're, the hot working, the pulling bits at the end is hot working, and so they're not all going to be exactly the same. I think these are Murano. I think I've seen these listed as Murano. Yeah, this is Chinese. I think this is made by Sun Al York, and they still make very similar things today. Yeah, I don't recognise that. I don't know if it's Murano or not. I'm not seeing anything else. Interesting. Some interesting looking art glass back here, as usual. I don't know it, so it looks a bit Caithness-y. Oh, actually, he's got Caithness written on that bit there. Oh, and that bit. Has he got it written on this bit too? Yes, he has. There you go. But I don't recognise the rest of it. What's that one? No, he just says it's cranberry. It's got some nice arty pottery as well, but a bit more Caithness, These stripes in, you see that quite often, sort of like a swirl or a stripe. These are interesting down here. They look very bohemian. What's he got written on them? Yeah, they look very Kralik, Transvaal type thing. Look at these. Yeah. They're cased. I think these might be pre-war. Might be wrong. So I was Googling around for pictures for those orange vases, and where do I end up? back at 20th century glass, and yeah, and well, orange ones with the spiral on, different types of spiral. Also, there's bits with other extra bits, coloured bits on. You've seen these ones with the legs on before. So yeah, I think it's Franz Vase, because that's what he's saying these are. And yeah, so I will go with that. And I forgot to give dates, so that makes it 1920s or 1930s. Bagley Equinox bowl. There's another. That looks very Victorian. Bit of cranberry. Don't know who this, but this looks like, pattern-wise, it looks very Thomas Webb. But yeah, early, probably turn of the century. I don't know anything else here. Oh, that looks like it's Dartington. So this is the guy with a lot of boxes of stuff. Yeah, my mum has a sugar bowl version of this, but I've never seen this. Does it have a name? Because I'd love to know. No. I think it's probably English. It's probably 1950s. Rayware. They made quite cheap glass in the 70s. What else is here? Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. It's Thomas Webb, but it's not good Thomas Webb. Yeah, there's nothing super exciting. These are Medina, these little wave dishes. That looks like a Medina one as well. There's an interesting decanter in the back there. Oh. It is interesting. I might have to stop in a second, put this down. Yeah, I don't know what. Looks a bit Victorian, but it's got a cut edge, which is not normal. This is nice. Wedgwood wave bowl. I've only ever seen that in the book. So that's quite nice. It's not common. I can probably give you a reference number and a year for that. The book I'm looking at is Dartington Glass, The First 20 Years by Linda and Stuart Smithson. So here is the wave bowl we're looking at. And I rather foolishly said I'll give you an exact date for it. She's got the reference number here. And I forgot, in the Wedgwood section, it's 1967 to 87. So that's not a very good date, is it? However, look at this reference number here. It's AWH, which I believe means that it was designed by Anita Harris. Now, Anita Harris did the palm dishes, and she was working at Dartington on a bursary, which means she was probably only there for a short while. So that would then date this 1983-84. So there you go. That's your date. These are weird as well. This is a tumbler. Goes with this. I think this is a Canars. Who's Canars? Ultra clarity crystal glasses. Never heard of them. They're not good at fitting stoppers. I might look them up, see where they're from. I don't think they're UK. So this is their Canars website. The set we were looking at is still for sale. The Canars 5-piece Emperor Whiskey decanter set. See, it's got those lovely glasses. Yeah, spelled decanter wrong. Yeah, that's not a good look. And when you go to About Us, it tells you nothing. It tells you their craftsmanship. However, obviously, I'm a bit more, you know. I'm going to look a bit deeper, and here they are. It's a Chinese company, and it looks like they're exporting to the US. That you can buy it through Amazon, and all the prices are in dollars. So, yeah, it looks like they're going from. And in Amazon, it says they founded in 1989. Yeah, they need to learn how to fit their stoppers better, though. Yeah. But there you go. It's a Chinese company. I've never heard of them before, never seen that before. And it might be that it's just one that's like a personal import. Someone moved here and brought it with them or whatever from the US. Yeah. There was a box of Slim Jims down here, but they appeared to be gone. I was thinking if they were still here, I was going to buy them, but you know what they say, you snooze, you lose. This is nice. Yeah, white fries in the box. It is £75. I'll look this up. Mark and everything. Yeah, it looks very 50s, 60s, 70s kind of pattern. Twilight. I think that's when that was introduced, the 50s, I think. So let's stop and have a look at this decanter in here. I'm looking at the whitefriesglass.com website, and I found the jug and glasses, and it's a M104, and it tells you the different colours it comes in. Amber, I think that's blue, green, twilight, and flint, which is clear. There you go. 1960 is the first year it appears in the catalogues. Okay, so I pull the decanter out. It's marked underneath. It's orifice. So, and it's £10. I think I'm going to come back and buy this. I'm just going to finish filming. But yeah, that's coming home with me. The book I'm looking at here is 20th Century Miller's 20th Century Glass by Andy McConnell. And yeah, so I can't find an exact match for my decanter. The one I have feels very new, very, very new, in fact. And it's very like this. So basically it's like this, a bit taller with the corners beveled in and sloping in, the side sloping in a little bit, but this same shape stopper. Yeah, it doesn't look like. So this is designed by Edward Hald, and yeah, from 1933. But it doesn't look like. I said mine feels very new. They don't make them anymore. I did look on their website just to see, but I can't. It actually has a number on it as well, but I can't match that. Yeah, it's just. This is as close as I can find. And this design is from 1933, so it's a variation of this. And it's plain. I don't think it's worth £80, but it's worth more than 10 anyway. Look in here. Don't recognise this. These look like Arca Rock fleur pattern, but I've never seen it as a punch bowl. It's almost a fruit bowl with little bowls, not with a punch bowl with glasses. Has it got France written on it? Yeah, it says France. So yeah, it's Arca Rock. I'm happy about that. Yeah, and I think this pattern is called fleur because it's like a flower. Some perfume bottles here. That's Caithness, I recognise it, and they recognise it too. Yeah, so this one here is interesting. This one is like a miniature version of the bottle I saw down the front. So clearly it is a perfume bottle, but with the stopper missing, I think. But they are no wiser than I am as to who made it. It's quite a good one. I might be able to ask someone, I might take pictures. Yeah, there's nothing. Things with labels on. I can't really get down that. I'm not going to squish my head down on the ground. That looks like it's something like more Briley art glass piece there. What does it say on the label? Oh, yeah, it's Royal Barlow Briley. So it is. You can see they quite often have this iridescence, and then they have a cut top like that. Can you see if you look at the top? See, it's cut. But they come in all sorts of different colours, and that's a shape that I've seen them use before. So, don't know anything else here. Turn around, a bit of a oh my moment. So, look at this. Look at this. So, this shape, style's popular mid 1800s. He's got one wrong stopper, that's right. With bell stopper, I could probably do him a better one than that, at least one that was roughly the right shape. This one looks like it might have been refitted. But yeah, it's £60 as found. But yeah, it's quite nice. But I'm not going to spend £60 because I'd like to stay married, and that's quite a big thing to lug home. Lug home and not be able to hide, I think, is the issue. Mix of stuff here, a lot that I don't recognise. This looks like a acrylic style thing, but it's probably Chinese. It's quite big and looks new. That's probably Chinese. So I was doing a bit of Googling for LSA, and I found this with these little thin randomy bits on it, just like that bowl, and with the label LSA International, and I think there's another label on this picture. I can show you something else as well, if I can find where I was looking at it. I think it's here. Yes, so I mentioned it's a bit like acrylic, and this is the kind of thing I mean. So you can see it's got this same randomy glass strappy just on it, and yeah, so that's something. So acrylic is Bohemian glass, and yeah, it's quite a bit older. I'll be Crosno. Yeah, here's a lovely one. This is because this one's, I know this one is vintage. It's Chinese, but it's vintage. So this is Gallian Glassclow Snowflake range. So that's quite nice. What's he got on it? £17. So that's a good price as well, because it's quite a nice one. Yeah, these are probably Chinese, but I don't recognise. And those are probably Chinese as well. This isn't nice. This is probably Chinese, but this is. Oh, can I get it? So yeah, so this is although it's probably Chinese, it's £18. This is acid etched, so it's cased. I can feel. So what they've done is they've put different layers inside, then a clear layer, and then they've put this really dark layer on top, and they've mapped it out and then acid it, etched it, so this stands proud. Can you see? You can actually feel it. Yeah, so a bit of work in there. I said it's probably Chinese, but it's still a good thing. Warbler vase there. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's a big bit of art glass. Still don't recognise it. Somehow I've got to get my head around these stretch pieces, because yeah, there's so much of it, and I've got to figure it out. So in this corner here, I think I recognise a lot of this from last time. Bristol yeah, so he's got, yeah. So he's got all this Bristol blue glass. I don't know how much of it was here last time. He must have a massive collection if he's swapping it out, because there's loads of it. Look, he's got it with the boxes and everything. And so he's always collecting it somewhere. It's interesting because actually none of this looks like it's copying Georgian patterns, but some of it does a bit. And those are the ones you want to pick out, because people do then try and put them on as Georgian. But yeah, the shark's the biggest bit. Look at that. That's £95, which is probably, if you've still got the box for that, that's probably decent. A couple of little decanters on the table here. Yeah, this one's got some bloom. It's a, what's it say? Ship's decanter. Yeah, it's probably Polish or something. Looks that way. This one says ship's decanter as well. So this is a bit more interesting. So yeah, unsure of this stopper. In fact, I think it might have had I think this would have had a cork style topper with a metal top. See this little stringing here? Yeah, that's to strengthen this part so you can jam a cork in. I think this is, it's not a ship's decanter because obviously it would roll on the ship, but yeah, this is at least 150 years old, maybe 170, 80. Yeah, so it's a nice little thing. I hope you enjoyed that. It's my 100th video as I fall deeper and deeper into the hole of whatever it's called, but yeah, into that hole, trying to figure things out or not, as the case may be. But I am enjoying it, and I will keep on making films. And yeah, so with that said, all the references I use will be in the description below. And yeah, please remember to like and subscribe. So have a good evening. Good night. Bye.